Love yours. No such thing. No such thing as.
Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing some strawberry nails. I am going to encapsulate two of the nails, kind of like making it look like a pink drink. We're going to start off by pushing back the cuticle and removing the shine from the natural nail. I am using a fine sanding band that I bought off of Amazon. Make sure that when you're removing the shine off the nails, you are very careful and not over drilling them. You don't want to give them a heat strike, and you also don't want to over drill their nails and making them thin. Also make sure that you are doing it in one direction, which is either left to right or right to left, not going back and forth. It might look like I'm doing it, but I'm really not. It's just that I am speeding the video up. For this nail set, I'm going to be using tapered square tips. They are no C-curved. I'm going to be gluing them down with the brush-on nail glue from Young Nails. So this is gonna be the best nail hack. So I'm using these magnets that I found off of Amazon and putting it on my nail tip cutter. That way I can have all of my nail tips the same length. It does reduce a lot of the time. And then I'm gonna go with a nail file and filing down the sides just a little bit, just so the length of the nail tip and the natural nail are the same size and the same length, and that way it can prevent lifting. And after that, I'm just going to buff out the nail tips just so it can latch a little bit better to the acrylic when I place my acrylic down. And I'm going to be using this Young Nails Protein Bond. I dye for that, and I am also using the classic nude from Valentino for the nail set that I'm going to be doing. This nail set is going to be so much fun. I've been loving how trendy strawberries have been, so I'm going to be doing French tips, kind of looking like real strawberries. And then on the index and ring finger, I'm going to be doing a kind of like a pink drink from Starbucks. That's kind of going to be the inspo for this nail set, since my client is going to be going to the Fuerza Regida concert and she loves the song Sabor Fresa. But for these two nails, I'm going to be using the color Babydoll from the brand Nail Prof. This is the dupe to the Valentino Dragon Fruit that they discontinued. I absolutely love this. So yeah, so I'm gonna be putting a super thin layer on the bottom, and then I'm going to be putting my strawberries down using a little bit of acrylic, and then I'm going to make sure that I am applying more pink on top so it can kind of look like it's inside the drink. And then once I'm done, you're gonna encapsulate it with some clear. So make sure that every time you place down some acrylic, you make it very thin, so that way your nails won't be bulky. And like I always say, make sure that you apply your Band-Aid one hand at a time. That way they won't have any dust or lint from their clothes, or just dust overall, since they're going to be grabbing things. And you don't want to have to re-prep the nail. You don't want to have to prep it again, because I mean, why just not wait? So then after that, I'm just applying nude, because the thumb is gonna have that French tip with strawberries on it. But yeah, here we're just redoing it over. I'm going to be using the nail file from Cherry. It is a 80 by 80, so please make sure that if you are using an 80 by 80, you are very careful with their fingers, because since it's very coarse, you can hurt them. If you are beginning, I do recommend the 180 by 180. That way it's not as coarse and you won't hurt them. I'm going to be using my drill bit from Melody Susie that I got off of Amazon. I will be posting a picture up to your right. That way you can see exactly which one I got. I am also using their dust collector. It is amazing. I love it. It is so absorbent. It has been the best duster that I've ever had. I have had a few, and this one is by far my favorite. And it's not as expensive as the branded ones, so that's always a plus, because you know, you want good quality for not that much money. So we're gonna just drill them, making sure that all the cuticle is very, very clean. If any of the acrylic is stuck to the skin, please make sure that you use a cuticle pusher and try to push it back very gently, and then go in and drill it, because if it is stuck to your cuticle area, or the skin, the acrylic is stuck to the skin, then that is why your nails can lift. So always make sure that you clean around the cuticle very well, that way you can prevent lifting. So after this part, make sure that you buff out the nails, and then you send them off to wash their hands with only water, because your hand soap can probably have a little bit of moisturizer, and that can cause your gel to chip. So here I am using the Helixide red gel. Just admire how pigmented these are. That's why I love Helixide. Okay, so my Frenchies for this design has to be a little bit higher, just because I want the strawberries to have more detail, and since I am going to be using builder gel to kind of make the shape of the, how like there's little kind of like pores for the seeds, so I just want them to stand out. So for these Frenchies, I am doing them a little bit more higher than I would probably do for the rest of them, unless they ask me. When drawing the seeds, make sure that you give yourself enough space in between and under, just because you're going to be placing builder gel around every single one of those little yellow lines. I'm going to be using the D&D 900 top coat and placing it into cure for 60 seconds. Make sure that their thumb is all the way in and facing up. That way they can cure properly. I'm going to be using the Beetle's builder gel for this part. I'm going to start off by going vertically down, and then I'm going to go in horizontally, going around the yellow. So just make sure that the whole red French part has the gel and you're just not putting any of the builder gel on the yellow seeds. That way it can give it more of a, porousy look, because that's ideally what you want, so it can look like a real strawberry. So I did repeat this part twice just because I didn't do a thick enough layer for it. After that, make sure that you put top coat only around the textured part and not the whole thing. I did forget to record that because my phone was running out of memory. So yeah, so just make sure that you do this twice if your first layer is not thick enough. I do want to thank everybody for taking their time to watch my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Till next time.